We have an extremely interesting guest. We're excited to have her on the show. She is a serial entrepreneur, medical futurist, very tough to pronounce last name, so I'm going to go for it. Robin Farmanfarmaian, welcome to the show. Welcome to the spotlight. Robin, did I say the name right?
It was perfect. You mispronounced
Amazing.
Robin, however.
Oh yeah, he always stumbles. That's the tough one. That's the tough of the two. So yeah, no, thanks so much for coming on, Robin. We read your bio, and we understand you have a really interesting background that led you into the the medical industry, the medicine industry, and being a futurist. And so, when you call yourself a futurist, what do you mean by that?
So I talk about and predict what the next 2, 5, 10, and 20 years are going to look like in medicine, and how technology will be intersecting it and absolutely positively disrupting it.
Cool. And Landon alluded to some of the challenges that you faced a little bit younger in your life, and how that's kind of led into your career now. So what were some of those? There were some misdiagnoses and everything like that. So can you walk us through that and sort of what's led you to where you are today?
Sure. So at the age of 16, I was misdiagnosed with an autoimmune disease, ended up resulting in 43 hospitalizations,
Wow.
6 major surgeries, and I've had 3 organs removed. So at the age of 26, my doctors, and I remember I've been through like Dartmouth, Hitchcock, Harvard, Mass General, Elliott. I mean, there were pretty much all the hospitals on the East Coast. And none of my doctors actually realized it was a misdiagnosis. So at the age of 26, they said, oh, we took out your organs, you're cured because we removed the affected organs. Now you're just going to be on very high dose methadone or potentially like a morphine pump surgically implanted in your spine for the rest of your life. And I was like, I am 26 years old and you're telling me I'm going to be on high dose methadone for the rest of my life? No.
Yeah.
So I went home and I fired all of my doctors.
And so, okay, so then with the misdiagnosis, were they just, everyone was wrong?
Everyone was wrong, including the pathologist who actually had my colon in his hands. So they took out my large intestine completely when I was 19 years old, freshman in college. The pathologist actually had it and still managed to misdiagnose me. Finally, at the age of 29, I got diagnosed correctly and put on Remicade, and it literally was a medication that changed my life within 24 hours. At that point, I had been a shut-in for about 2 or 3 years. I could go, I was on some boards and stuff like that, but I couldn't hold down a full-time job because the pain was so extreme.
Wow.
Finally, I put on Remicade, and literally 24 hours later, I went from being someone too sick to function at all to being this, like holding down 4 jobs, going around the world, being a professional speaker. And so it was a game changer. So my taking control of my life saved my life, and it gave me back my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you found the right doctor who was able to diagnose you correctly, and
Yep.
And so can you talk a little bit about how those experiences sort of inspired what you're doing today and what you hope to accomplish?
Well, I want to get the message out that patients really need to take control and be the center. So I talk about the patient as the CEO of the healthcare team, and just like a corporation where you have a CEO and they have fantastic vice presidents, support staff, board members, advisors. You enable them to do their job, which they're great at, right? They report back to you as CEO, and together as a team, you decide on a direction for the company to go into. But as CEO, you are the one who is ultimately responsible. The vision is carried out, and that the company overall is successful. So my message to patients and physicians everywhere: why should being a patient be any different? Right?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Oftentimes, it seems like you might listen to one person, but he's not the be all end all, and. Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that, because as a patient in a hospital, you're not necessarily at anyone's mercy, but you almost feel that way. You're just like, well, they're the doctor, so
They've got you down. They've got you.
Well,
sort of
I would just
vulnerable.
expect that they would know, I'm not going to do the.
They're omniscient.
What's that?
You expect that they're omniscient. That you go in feeling victimized because you're victimized by your body, you're victimized by your insurance company because the bills are so high, from the hospital system, from the waiting rooms, from everything. So you go in there already feeling victimized, most specifically by your own body, right? And then you're going into this person who you feel, and this is part of our society and just the way healthcare has worked, feel like is a god or omniscient or the one who's totally in control. And so it's this weird dynamic. And I'm saying, get rid of that dynamic. Physicians are not gods, except for, of course, a couple of surgeons here and there.
Right. Working their magic, yeah.
So just change that dynamic. And with that one message, we are going to dramatically shift and improve outcomes.